This is the 47th Test from the Future, an experimental podcast from the year 2222, which we are sending from our present to yours. My name is Dirk.
And my name is Simon.
And we're putting the past in podcast. So this week we have two interesting things to mention because we've been to two interesting places.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least...
I've been. Have you also?
No, I've been to one, but you've been to two.
Mm-hmm. I see what you mean. Yeah. One we went to together, but then separately I went to something. I'll talk about that first.
Yeah, where did you go?
Went to Atlantis. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I was giving a demonstration of my progress with my telekinetic powers.
Okay, so that's going well?
Mm-hmm. It's going pretty well, yeah. The demonstration I gave, so you know how I mentioned before in a previous episode that the goal of developing your telekinetic skills is to be able to do as fine-grained control as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the first thing you could do that's really easy is blowing up mountains, but to make it like as small as possible is the best. So anyway, I'm down now to a grain of rice.
Oh, okay.
Basically, there was this big obstacle course the size of a football field, and I weaved my this grain of rice with my mind powers, of course, through all the obstacles.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And I was successful. Didn't slip once, didn't bump into something or drop the rice.
And was your whole class there?
Most of them, the ones who are still in, like some have dropped out by now, but yeah.
And why was it in Atlantis?
Oh, it's a nice time of year to go there.
Okay.
Nice weather.
It's I like it because they put a massive dome over it, so you can easily get there. You can teleport there, but because it's underwater, you see the fish swimming everywhere. Basically, if you get to the sides, anyway, if you're in the middle.
Yeah. I mean, well, you still see like when the big schools of fish, you can still see a bit like clouds. Yeah, in the distance, you see these really pretty clouds. So sure, when I say weather, I mean it still affects it because it's not so far beneath the surface. So you see the nice sunshine coming through the water, lighting up the fish.
Okay. So for the listener, you're moving your arm from above to below.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way
showing
to describe
the sunshine.
it. Mm-hmm. Sunshine coming down from above.
And but was it the kind of like trip where you basically just you teleport there, you did the stuff that you need to do, and you teleport back, or did you get to explore?
So I had like 2 hours basically after my demonstration. I had about 2 hours just to look around a little bit, but then you needed to come back.
And anything interesting?
I had some nice coffee.
Okay,
that was good. I don't drink coffee so often, like caffeinated, like regular coffee. I don't drink so often, but sometimes I do, and it was really tasty stuff. But what was pretty strange was, or at least I found strange, maybe it's really normal for Atlantis, the barista was a monkey with a really big nose, which I haven't seen before.
I didn't even know they had animals down there.
Yeah, so I didn't see others. It was just this one barista.
Okay.
I didn't really have much of a conversation with him, just said what I wanted.
Okay.
Made it nicely. But yeah, monkey, I've not seen that type of monkey so often. I don't think I've ever seen it before. But I don't know, like, is it a particular type of monkey? Or is it just a monkey that's really common who had a really big nose?
Or maybe it came with the coffee? Or
could have been like a special bonus feature's the wrong word, promotion of the coffee shop.
Or maybe it's like typical seaweed coffee that can only be made by monkeys with big noses.
There's something about preparing it where you need to be able to detect some fine variance in smell, and only that monkey has the nose for it.
I think you got it. That must be it.
That makes sense. They may have had, so I can't read Atlantan, and there was text everywhere. Maybe there was a poster explaining what was going on, but I didn't read it. Were
there a lot of tourists there? I hear it's very touristy.
Yeah, I guess there were. I mean, everyone's wearing all different clothes, so I didn't know which were people who were from Atlantis and which were people who were tourists. Yeah, it's hard for me to judge.
I think when they first found it, it was really hard to get to, obviously, because they didn't put a dome there. But when they put the dome there, it's like a second Venice.
Yeah.
Maybe for the people listening for the first time and still there, we and Simon are living in the year 2222, and we record this podcast talking about our everyday technology. It goes back exactly 200 years.
That's what we know from the people who've replied to us.
And because this is episode 47, we always ask you to let us know when you hear the episode.
Yep, if you're hearing this now and we would like you to let us know that you're hearing it. So please send an email to michaellasagna5@gmail.com and put the number 47 in the subject.
Yeah. And then I don't go cheating and putting 46 in there because we already had that.
Exactly, and we'll not know, but it would be rude of you to do so.
Yeah, then we think they listen to 46. We want to know about 47.
And if you have any questions about this episode, that makes even more sense to put the number 47 in the subject. And we cannot reply to you by email, but we can answer you here in the podcast.
It's a nice bridge to the actual topic, because we're saying if you have any questions about the episode, chances are we will be having a few questions at the end of this episode.
Right, or maybe... maybe you listen... So we're getting ahead of ourselves. If you hear us say anything really wrong, you can also let us know that in an email.
The thing is, I think we mentioned it at the end of our last episode that we were going to go to the Senkenberg History Museum.
I think we did, yeah.
And we did. And we thought maybe there's something in there that we can speak about in our show, because we speak about our everyday technology. But the Senkenberg History Museum has a whole technology section.
Going back hundreds of years.
Exactly. And it was even better than we thought, because they were cleaning up.
Decommissioning some of their exhibits.
Exactly, duplicates or things that they weren't interesting anymore or whatever. So we got a box of old tech.
They were kind enough to let us take it with us
and
at the end of the day.
Exactly, and then we thought it would be just really fun to kind of do an unboxing on the episode. And then we just, the things came with labels. I mean, it's pretty old, and some of the labels fell off, but I think we still got most of them. And then we thought we'd just, take them out, talk about them on the show, and then,
and then, like I say, so we will say from the labels, from the descriptions, we'll say what we believe they are, but if you hear us say anything really wrong, let us know in an email.
Definitely. Do you want to hear a joke?
Please do. Yeah, I do.
You said let us know. I thought of a joke. So there's a group of tomatoes living together, and one tomato heads off to make a salad. And then the tomato comes back, and the other tomatoes are angry. And the one tomato goes like, "Why are you angry?" And the other tomatoes are saying, "If you're heading off to make a salad, you have to let us know."
It's not my taste of humor.
Okay.
But I can see the joke.
All right.
I think other folk might find it very funny. Hey, if you found that really funny, let us know.
Yeah, exactly. Let us know. Yeah. 47.
There you go.
Let's get the box.
So here it is. It's not so big. Well, reasonably sized.
So you can't see the stuff?
We'll try and move around as much as possible so you can hear it.
Maybe we take turns in doing like one or two things.
Yeah, you can go first, Jim.
Okay, let me get... Okay, so I will first describe what it is, then I will say what it's called, and then I will basically read the label. So this is like a square device, although most of these things are square.
Like cuboid, yeah, like rectangular or, yeah.
But this one comes with like a curved metal strip, and the end of the strip on both sides are soft cushions. And there are some wires going from the metal strip thing into the square device. And it slots open, and in there you can put like a cassette, but I can't... Did it come with? Yeah, there is a cassette in there, but I can't open it. So I'm supposed to press this, and then it's opening. Okay, so the thing is called a Walkman. A Walkman. So
it's for walking?
I don't know. I don't see a man or something.
A step counter, maybe? Like maybe it records your steps on the cassette. Yeah,
I don't know. I will read the label.
Yeah,
but the thing is, it's in German. So I will read it and then I will translate. Okay. So. Okay. It's for playing music. I'm just okay. I don't know how exciting this is. I will just. Yeah. It's for playing music. The music is on the cassette.
Ah, okay.
and you can take it on the go. Okay, so...
But then, does it have a speaker? Like, how do you hear
I don't know.
How do you hear the music?
I don't know, really. So it doesn't actually say that. It just says it's for playing music on the go. Music goes on a cassette. Okay.
And does it work? I mean, these are really old, yeah, and they were on display for a long time, so I don't know if they work or if they don't.
I have it open up now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I can just see the cassette. Oh, now I can't close it anymore.
Oh, dear. Well, they were getting rid of this at the museum anyway. I guess it doesn't matter if we break things.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's ours now. I don't want to break our stuff.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm just pressing some of the buttons, but I don't hear... Do you hear music?
No, unless it's really quiet music, but I don't hear anything. Is there like
listeners?
a volume? Is there a volume slider or wheel or buttons?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, let me try this.
Does that help?
No. I'm holding it really close to my ear now for the listener.
Is there like any mechanical noises from inside it?
No.
Oh.
It's totally quiet. I think it's just not working anymore.
Might be, yeah, might need power that we can't get to it.
Okay. That was extremely exciting.
Let me put it aside so we don't put it out of the box, that we don't get mixed up.
So it's a pretty big box. I will take that.
This is the next thing, yeah?
That big metal device. Okay. I'm going to put it down here.
Yep. Okay, sounds pretty beefy.
There's okay, so it's a big metal plate, and on the plate there's all kinds of. They look like keys, like little things that you can press down and up.
Okay, how many are there? I can't quite make out.
4.
Okay.
And on the other side,
yeah,
4 again, but I'm not sure if they look different. So then there's a wire in the middle connecting all the different keys. And that's basically it.
Okay, what's it called?
The thing is, it's called a telegraph.
Okay.
And let me read the label. It's for communicating. So you have to tap those things. And the amount of times you tap it, this determines which character it is. Okay. So they're saying, for example, three taps is an S. Okay. And 3 slow taps is an O. That's an example that they're using.
So you could write the word so.
Yeah.
Or OS, like operating system, I guess.
Okay. Then I'm going to try.
I mean, I hear you knocking on it or tapping on it, but no additional sounds to that.
See, this is an S now.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'll
trust that it is.
I'm going to write a word. You have to listen and then tell me which word it is, yeah?
Okay. So it was an S, then it was an O. Then another O. And then an S.
Yeah, which word was it?
Suze?
I guess.
S-O-O-S? I mean, it's not a word I know.
It's not a real word, but I just know...
Sure, we only have the 2 letters to work with, so...
Okay, now I'm going to do it again. Try it.
I got a better word. Oh, so go on. S. Oh, no, wait. O-S, yeah. S. Also,
exactly.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, it's... At least what we've got here, like, you can talk to me in the same room, but you could just speak to me. So I guess that this somehow... There was a reason to use this rather than just speaking.
Maybe when you needed to be really quiet because you were hiding.
Yeah. So that the baddies wouldn't overhear you.
You just hear the tapping. It's like, there's just some tapping, whatever.
Right, like mice in the walls or something.
Or where you were different people in the room and only some knew the tapping code.
Right, and others didn't know the code.
And then it's like, hey, we should speak to, and then tap.
A way to cheat at cards or something, yeah.
That must be it.
With only the letters S and... Maybe there were other letters, yeah? Like just being able to use the letters S and O kind of limits you. Okay. That was a really nice second piece of tech. Then you want to take over? This next thing's a bit larger than that. There we go. Okay, so description. Let me just put the box down a sec.
That's massive.
It's a bit bigger, yeah. So let me describe it first. So basically it looks like a backpack. Okay, it's got some straps here, a belt that can go across your front.
Okay.
on the back of... So say I was wearing it, I'm going to describe it as if I was wearing it. Yeah, so it's on my back. And it looks like there's two big tubes pointing downwards. Big rectangle above those. And here, okay, well, maybe just disconnect this. 1 sec. Okay, it's kind of jammed on there.
That's a jammed backpack.
Yeah, it's pretty old, I guess. Oh, okay, there. I got it off. So this is like a wand, I guess. I can hold... Oh, there's two of them. So I've got one in each hand. And there's like
there's buttons on them.
Yeah, buttons under each thumb. Cool.
So do they do anything when you press?
I mean, now they don't. Nothing happens. But again, all this tech is pretty old, yeah? And if it did do something, I guess maybe they would have stopped it because it was on display in the museum, yeah? Like you wouldn't have live equipment on display in case it went off or whatever.
And you ran out of battery at one point, I guess.
Oh, that too, of course. So anyway, let me... Description first, and then... Oh, I just did the description. The name... a jetpack.
Jetpack.
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
I guess...
I would call it a jammed pack, but...
Yeah, right now. But,
Yeah.
So it's not working right now, but I guess these tubes on the back, something could come out of them. And, well, it's jets in the name. Reminds me of jet pants. Maybe it's like a thing you wear it and it pushes you along.
Okay, maybe it's a predecessor of the jet pants.
Maybe. That would be kind of fun, to fly around.
Totally. Then you wouldn't need... Okay.
Okay, but this isn't working right now, but okay.
It looks... Then like, I thought it was really big, but if it's supposed to carry people, then it's rather small.
Yeah. Okay, next thing. Let's see what we got.
There's a lot of cool things in there. Oh, I already know what I'm going to get next.
Yeah. What shall I get? There it is. Let's have a look at this one. Okay. So it's a bit small. It's much smaller than the last one. It's like a rounded rectangle. Like it's a cuboid. White on one side, shiny mirror-like finish on the other. On the white side, there's like the top half looks like a screen of some kind, a display, and beneath it there's this grey circle. I can click it.
Well, that sounds really, really nice.
Yeah. Then on the back, on the shiny side, there's a picture of an apple, and the word below it says, I guess, iPod, something like that, iPod. And on the top, there's a slidery thing, which has like an orange colour. Okay, but I can't. It looks like it should slide, but it's jammed, so I guess that's not going to move. And then a couple of holes, and then a really big hole on the bottom. And there's some other words on this grey circle. It says menu. Oh, just one word. It says menu at the top.
So pod, does it? Maybe it's like a predecessor of our current pods.
For meditation or relaxation. But this is really tiny.
Yeah, you can't get in these, but maybe you connect them to something and they help you relax.
Maybe it's like a thing that plugs into such a system, yeah. I mean, like I say, it doesn't work, okay, fair enough.
It's a shame. I hope one of these works. At least I would...
I mean, have a go, see if you can slide that slider.
Yeah, I can.
Maybe the other way?
No,
it's really jammed, isn't it? Okay, but then I just realised I said then. Okay, so wait, I think the name on the label is the same as the name on the back. iPod.
Okay.
Okay, I mean that gives it away. Yeah, they straight up put the name on the thing. I realised though for the jetpack I didn't read the description. Shall I go back and read the description for it, or we can find out what it actually was rather than guessing it was a predecessor to the jet pants.
But we're all
already on this. Okay, but then I'll read the description for this.
Smart.
So here we go. Where's the little card? Here we go. So it's a portable music player. It sounds like the Walkman, maybe, for listening to music on the go. Okay, but that's all it says basically, and it doesn't have a speaker that I can see. So it's like the
weird, like the other
Walkman.
one.
Like they say they can play music, but
the folks in the past were really about music, huh?
It looks that way, yeah. And maybe this hole on the top, maybe the sound came out there. You had to hold it to your ear. Like I'm holding it up to my ear with the hole in my ear. Maybe it like squirted it in your head.
But it's. I understand now why the people from 200 years ago are picking up our podcast, because they were really into listening to things. Walkmans, iPods.
Hey, yeah, check this out.
Hmm?
I was saying iPod, but maybe it's pod, because we make a podcast. Maybe this device copied podcast. Like, you know, the idea of a podcast, maybe
It's for listening to... Oh,
to casted pods.
wow.
Maybe, maybe not. Okay, well
Okay.
then, that's enough of that, I think. You can go next.
Yeah, I already know what I'm gonna get.
Okie doke.
Because I'm gonna take this ball.
Ah, yeah.
So
what's this?
So it's a ball,
Mm-hmm.
and it's almost round, but like on one side it's flattened, and then on that side you can look into the ball, and into the ball is another ball.
Hey, yeah, smaller ball.
It's small, and it kind of like, if you touch it, it rotates, and then there's a little bit of a wire around it, and you pull the wire, you pull the ball that's inside.
Okay.
On the other side is kind of like a tiny screen.
Yeah, it looks a bit like the one on the iPod.
Yeah. So I don't know what it does, but it feels nice in your hand. Kind of like firm.
Weighty, yeah?
So, want to guess what this does?
I mean, it looks like, because it's got this display on it, maybe it's some way of telling the time or playing music.
Or maybe it's part of a sport. Like you basically have to, you throw it in the air, you have to go after it or something like that.
Yeah, is it a hoverball of some kind?
No. Okay, I'll check the label.
Yep. What's it called?
It's called a power ball.
Okay, yeah.
Well, that doesn't really say much. So let me check the label. Well, this is a really big label. I have to... Wow. Okay, hold on. There's a part in English. Okay. It's... I'm not going to read all of it, but it's perfectly balanced. It's carefully constructed, has the highest quality. It doesn't say what it does.
Right.
State-of-the-art technology.
I mean, I guess not anymore, but back when it came out.
Zero vibration. It doesn't say what it does. Finely tuned. Maximum enjoyment.
Maybe whoever had this knew what it did, so they don't need to say what it does here in the paperwork.
So it just says how amazing it is, but it doesn't say what it does.
Does it power balls, or does it ball power?
The German description says exactly the same. Just how amazing, exciting this ball is, but it doesn't say what it does. Okay.
Well, then.
We have a really amazing ball.
And it's the highest quality. State of the art.
I'm going to put it back on, and then... You want to go next?
Yeah, I can go next. Let's have a look here. Yeah, let's take this thing out. So I'll put it down. Let's see, does it open? Ah, yeah, it opens up.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, that's pretty nice.
Look at that.
It's like, so it looks similar. You know, when we're using our lenses and we need to enter text. And there's different ways you can do it. You can think the words, you can speak the words, but another way that some people like to use is where you have, like, in the air in front of you what look like lots of letters floating, and you tap your fingers on them. Yeah?
I like that.
So this looks like that, but rather than floating in the air in my vision, it's just sitting there down
Physical.
on the table. Yeah. Like you start, like, the letter in the top left is Q, then W, then E, then R, then T, then Y, and so on. Just same layout, actually, that I'm used to seeing in my lens. So anyway, they're along the bottom.
Hey, well, hold on.
But they're really beefy, yeah? Like, they're not flat like I'm used to, like seeing in the lens. These are, like, really chunky keys. Sorry, but what were you going to say?
It's like, it doesn't say QWERTY like the Air keyboards that we use. It says QWERTZ. See?
Ah, you're right. I didn't look so... I was just
It's
assuming...
where the Y is supposed to be, there's a Z. So it's not completely the same.
I don't know, but it's... Oh, right, and where the Z usually is, the Y is there instead. But, like, all the other letters are the same.
Huh.
That's pretty weird, I tell you what. So, okay, but that's along the bottom. Then behind, like, further away from me, so the letters, above them is like a big tube, it looks like. And then there's like a ribbon between the two.
Oh, yeah. I hadn't seen the ribbon.
Yeah, let me just press this key. Hey, when I press them, an arm thing pops up.
That looks...
That's pretty cool.
It looks dangerous, almost.
Yeah. I mean, let me put my hand in here and see what it sounds like. It doesn't hurt that much. It's fine. Okay, but anyway, so you can type. It doesn't go anywhere. Like there doesn't seem to be any kind of computer aspect to it, you know. So it's like you can type, but it doesn't go anywhere. It hits this ribbon, but then that's it. Maybe the ribbon's for fun.
It's kind of the same with the Telegraph that we had before.
Yeah, the Telegraph, right.
Like, it's supposed to...
It's meant to do... Well, okay, let me find out what this is.
A Telewriter, I'm guessing.
A Telewriter would make sense, yeah. So here's the name. Typewriter. Okay.
Typewriter.
That's what it's called. And, yeah, it was a mechanical way to type text onto paper. Hey, well, you haven't got any paper here.
Huh.
Maybe if you have paper, and you put it in there somehow, and you press the keys, maybe text appears on the paper.
But is it typing or writing? Like, it's called a typewriter. So do you write or do you type?
Don't know. Maybe when you press the buttons, writing appears?
I guess.
Okay.
Well, at least this one works.
I mean, I don't... imagine it works if we had paper.
Yeah, I mean, it does do something.
Right, the other ones, I pressed the buttons, the keys, and things moved. That's there's still battery in this one, so that must have a pretty strong battery. Must be a really long lasting one. Okay. Let's look for something else. You see something you like?
Yeah, I already know what I'm gonna go.
Okay.
We'll go with next.
I think I'll go. I'm looking for something that's a bit like that last one was fun because it flipped open, you know.
Something
that moves mechanically, because some of these are just like rectangles that look like they won't.
Yeah, there's a lot of rectangles. The past is really big on rectangles.
Exactly. Let's try this one. So it's in a little pouch. Let's open the pouch.
Oh well, it feels like it's solstice.
It does a little. There's lots of unwrapping to do. Okay, so actually it looks almost dropped it. It looks a little bit like you see them in old movies sometimes. A smartphone. Looks a little bit like that, but doesn't have a screen of any kind. But it's got like this golden. Let's see, there must be a way to open it. It's like got a golden mesh over the front.
Mm-hmm.
Here, let me see what happens if I click this.
Oh,
it opened up. Hey,
another one that works.
Yeah, nice, mechanical, you know. Okay, so the golden mesh thing flipped up. Underneath there seem to be some buttons. Okay, you can hear them. Looks maybe like a speaker, I guess.
Yeah, that must be a speaker.
Yeah, okay, and a dial. Let me turn the dial. Okay, well, so I say it looked like a smartphone, so maybe it was a way of playing computer games back in the day.
I'm guessing it's for listening to music.
It does have a speaker.
It's the people in the past were...
They did like listening to music.
I guess half of the box that's left is listening to music on different devices.
Probably. So, okay, let me read the label. 1 sec. Here we go. Okay, Communicator.
A communicator.
So not for playing games, maybe for talking with other people.
Huh.
Possible.
Okay.
I guess it doesn't have a screen, so what kind of games could you play? That's true. So, Communicator, and the description. This is a prop from a TV show. Huh. So wait, it's not even a real thing.
It's a prop from a TV show. So it doesn't actually work. How come it flips open?
I mean,
that's a really
the mechanical aspect flipped open, but I guess if it's a prop from a TV show, maybe you couldn't really talk with other people using it. Maybe you pretended you were.
Okay.
Like the actors in the TV show.
So I find it a bit lame to have it between real tech, but on the other hand, it's kind of...
We're missing the context. Maybe in the display, like in the museum, it was like a progression, you know, like fictional things that inspired real things. Okay. Something like that.
Huh.
Okay, well, I'll switch it off and close it. Even though it's a prop.
Okay. I already know which one. I'm going to get this cylinder. I mean. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the cylinder, it's kind of like it's narrower in the middle, and then you can basically it fits in your hand exactly. So you hold it, and then exactly where your thumb is, depending on how you grab it, there's like a button, and then you press the button, and well,
not much happens. This is an ongoing theme. Yeah, maybe we have a follow-up episode where we work out how to power all these things on.
Yeah, and then something must have, maybe something shoots out of it, or
or maybe it sucks things in. Maybe it's like some kind of portable vacuum cleaner.
Or maybe it's
for
for cleaning. For cleaning.
Cleaning.
Like you point at the wall and it cleans the wall or something like that. But or maybe it's for exercise.
Like a dumbbell.
Okay, I will read the label.
Yep.
The label says Lightsaber.
Is it light?
Yeah, I guess a lightsaber. Let me read this. Okay, they also mention a TV show. Okay, so now it's based on, it's inspired by a TV show, it says. It was a weapon.
What?
You press on the button and a laser beam shoots out.
Whoa.
Oh, good that it didn't work anymore.
Yeah, I was looking right in the end there.
So it's inspired by TV show and then actually made. It was used in the Worm Wars.
Okay.
So this is a weapon.
Sure, and they were on display. You can imagine they made it not work. Like, not just that the batteries will run out, but they
actually disable it.
Yeah.
And then still give it to random visitors.
Yeah.
I think if they realized what it was themselves when they handed out the boxes.
Maybe they wouldn't have so easily.
Yeah, okay. No, then I'm not going to try press the button more.
Not anymore, no.
Do you see anything you want to try?
Yeah, I think so. Where is it? Here, I saw this earlier, it caught my eye. Because check this out. This thing's moving around.
Yeah, there is something. Wow, that is definitely still working.
And I recognise that. Like, I mean, the form's a bit strange, but I can just say what this is, I reckon. Looks like an egg timer.
Yeah.
You want to boil some eggs, strap this to your wrist. It's a bit weird that you can't set, doesn't seem to be a way to set, so it's for the audio listeners, it's a circle with numbers around the edge, 1 to 12, on a rubbery strap. I've strapped it around my wrist. It's like a child's toy, you know? And then there's a dial on the side, but pressing it doesn't do anything. So I don't think you can actually say, hey, I want my eggs to cook for however long. But you could use it, because you see this little thing that's ticking around it. You could count how many times it goes round, and that would be a number of seconds. So say you want to boil egg for 7 minutes. Yeah, you just do 7 times 6, 420 times that thing ticks, you'll be done.
That's super useful.
Yeah.
How come
and it's working, like all this other stuff, you know? Like, I mean, but this thing is like, I don't know, I think it's too quiet, but you can imagine on the audio it's going tick, 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 and so on.
But it's actually moving, and you're not doing anything.
No.
Maybe it's powered by your body warmth or something like that.
It's got some text on it, but I can't.
But it's super useful. How come we don't have this anymore?
Right. We need to use food congos.
Yeah.
Huh. Anyway, cool. So, but okay, what's it called? Like, what's its actual name? It's called, a wristwatch. Yeah, I guess follows. It went on my wrist.
Yeah.
You don't really watch it exactly.
There's not even a screen on it.
No.
How can you watch something like this?
Yeah, that don't make sense. You can't watch any TV shows on this. The name doesn't make sense, but the functionality, let's see. The description. A clock you could wear on your arm to tell the time. Powered by the sun.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh, so that's why it's still working.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Smart.
That's pretty powerful.
Funny. It looks old, but it also looks...
Yeah. It's in good shape, but yeah, it looks... The style of it's really old.
It's some of the tech that they had back then was really impressive.
It was. Okay, I think I'm going to find one last thing. Let's have a quick look. Wow, this is a beefy one.
Oh.
This is exciting looking.
Oh, I'm going to get the other big one.
Okay, next, yeah. But okay, so it's I'm going to say it again. It's a rectangle. But this one's about, if I stretch my arms, not wide, but pretty wide. It's like this big.
Wow.
We could use centimeters and meters, couldn't we? It's about 1 meter wide. Maybe 30 centimeters tall, 20 centimeters deep. It's got a word written on the front. I think Sonny. Or Sunny, maybe. Big handle on the top. Humongous looking speakers either side. Hey, and this thing, it's got 2 of them that remind me, where is it? Yeah, they look like the Walkman. Like the little door on the Walkman, but there's 2 of them next to each other.
Hey, but on the Walkman says the same word. Sony.
Hey,
Sony.
Sony?
Sony?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, maybe so. Same company presumably made them. Anyway, so and yeah, a whole bunch of nice clicky buttons. There you go. I mean, from what we know of the Walkman, I'm assuming this also plays music.
And from most of the other devices,
they love their music, those guys. This one, let me just open the doors. No, there's no cassettes in here. How does it switch on? Is a thing I can open? No, nothing. Okay, I'm just going to assume this thing doesn't power on since...
I understand now why they didn't have troubadours anymore back time, because they
had all these devices to play music for them. Okay, but the size of this thing, check it out. Look, it just about fits on my shoulder.
Oh, cool.
I put my hand up through this handle on the top. It's just about it weighs a ton, but you know, I could imagine walking around.
That's going to be good for your health, carrying that around.
I guess we point the speakers away from me, yeah? Like, don't point them toward my own head.
Smart.
Point them out into the elsewhere. I can walk along. Everyone can hear the amazing music.
You can have two, one on each shoulder.
Oh, okay, I could. Oh, wait a minute. There's a little hatch at the back here. Let's open this up. Check it out. What's that say? D cell? Something like that. Maybe you're meant to put some kind of power source in here.
Okay.
It's a huge cavernous space in there, so I guess you needed to put a lot of power into it.
Little batteries.
Yeah. Okay, but what's it called? It's called a Ghettoblaster.
A Ghettoblaster. Maybe it's not for playing music.
Maybe it's for blasting ghettos? That sounds really harsh. That's like a weapon.
Sounds like another weapon.
Like a police brutality type of weapon.
They gave us another weapon.
This museum is pretty... I was all excited. It's made by the same guys as the music thing, but it... Okay, wait, let me find the description. What? Oh, man, there's no description. Must have got lost.
Yeah, some fell off.
Yeah. So this is a weapon... Well, from the name and the... It does look pretty bestial now I look at it.
It
must be some kind of
blasting sound waves.
Like some crowd suppression tech. It's pretty dark, you know. I was all excited, and now it's some kind of thing for being cruel to people. Oh well.
Yeah, I think the next one, it's another rectangular shape, but it has a bunch of keys on it, and on the keys are numbers, and you can press the numbers. I guess I'm not pressing them just yet.
No, but it looks like, and then some mathematical symbols next to them. So some way of doing stuff with numbers.
I have no idea. Okay. The label says chainsaw.
Okay.
So, and it's used for cutting down trees.
With numbers?
It's used for cutting. Maybe there's like this little red.
Yeah, like maybe it shoots out a laser.
I guess so.
And the numbers must be for controlling like the distance of the cutting and the intensity of the cutting and the.
Wow, it looks like such an innocent device, but it's used for cutting down trees.
I mean, that's very convenient.
Yeah, I guess this is where the laser comes out. I hear that says the on and the on. It just has an on button. Doesn't have an off button.
That's what the numbers must be. You switch it on, then you type in like how many seconds you want it to last for.
Okay,
something like that.
I'm gonna suggest we don't try this.
No, that sounds a bit dangerous inside, but impressive that it's so tiny.
Yeah. I think as a last one, this big one looks really nice.
I can hear something liquid in there.
It's true. Yeah. So this is big. This big blobby thing with a handle, and there's this thin blade sticking out of it with teeth on the side.
Yeah, but like sharp teeth, like a shark. Yeah, like not like people teeth.
Okay, so and then on the side there's a little line connected to a little handle.
Okay.
And I have no idea what this is, but let me check the label.
Yeah, what's it say?
This is a pocket calculator.
Okay, it's really big. Like it seems, I guess if you have really big pockets, maybe
it allows you to do math, simple math.
Like
so it's
like with the teeth.
Doesn't say how, but this is a pocket calculator. Okay. Everybody had it. It used to help you with simple calculations.
Okay, maybe the teeth are like an abacus. You know, like you use them to count things off.
Yeah, I don't know. Shall we try it?
Yeah, let's give it a go.
Okay, so on this side, so I guess if you put in a license here, then...
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Shit. That's
That's not what I want. Let me out of the way.
That was very lucky. I had just been touching those teeth, seeing how you could count stuff on, and just as I took my hand away, they started spinning like crazy.
That's a messed up thing. That's not a calculator.
Wait a minute, you could imagine that chopping things down.
You reckon that's for the trees?
The labels might have got switched.
Yes, yeah. I mean, some fell off. Okay, maybe it's time to call it a day.
Yep. Before we do something more dangerous, perhaps. It's been a pretty long episode today.
This is a record-breaking episode.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff to look through.
There was actually one interesting user question still left.
Yeah. Let's have a look.
It's from Bob. He didn't say his last name. He asks, if you have unlimited power from Mercury, why don't you have larger batteries on Earth for when there's a blackout? Yeah, or blackout episode, right? We spoke about this.
Right, because exactly that. For sometimes we don't have power and everything has to switch off for a little bit. But we've also mentioned that we have effectively unlimited power coming to us from Mercury. And Bob's asking, why don't we have larger batteries?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say briefly. So size isn't the issue. The issue is we don't have the materials anymore to make batteries that can store the energy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's helpful that we have so much coming from Mercury, because that's great, but we can't store it. So when it stops coming, like if there's an interruption of a few hours, pretty much worldwide, that means there's no power for those few hours.
Exactly. Yeah, that's like we're pretty advanced, I would say, but there are some things that we really just didn't figure out.
Well, and with that, at least we know how to make the batteries, but the materials that we used to use to make them, we've used them all up. So you can make, like, one person, you can have a battery for like one house, but that doesn't really help the whole world,
They also reckon that we would have figured it out by now, maybe use some other materials or whatever.
You'd think, but I mean, over the last 200 years, we must have gone through many different battery technologies compared to what they have. But we end up now in the state where we cannot store that much electricity.
Maybe we can have an episode about Mercury in general.
Right, go into more detail.
I think for the people in the past, it would be really interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So this must be a record-breaking episode by now. So I would say we wrap it up.
Sounds good.
If you hear this, episode 47, send us an email to michaelasanya5@gmail.com.
That's it.
Thank you for listening, and see you in 200 years.
Bye-bye.